Now, one of the quirks of my BMW R1150GS at the moment is it doesn't actually know when it's in neutral or not, which means when the side stand is down, the bike refuses to start, even when it's in neutral, when it's actually in neutral. So today, I'm going underneath the bike and I'm going to see if I can fix that gear position switch. A quick recap of what's been happening is the green light is the neutral light, and in the gear display on the left is the letter N, and when all is working fine, the bike will start. But as you can see, it's flickering on and off on its own and is at the point where the bike won't start at all. She's having a little disco. Now, like with any engine job, the first thing I check is that the bike's in neutral because the dash isn't showing me that at the moment. So I just run it through a gear and then spin the wheel just to double check. The pain with this would be if you had a catalytic converter, you'd have to get rid of it. But this bike doesn't have one. So you can see what I'm after right there. We have the foot peg, side stand, exhaust, and then there's the opening where you can see the switch, and it's a right tight area. So to get on with this job, I need to lay on my back and use this long screwdriver to gently pry off that switch cap, ensuring the 3 pins don't pop out that you just saw there for the first time. They're an absolute pain if they go missing because I have to buy a whole new switch unit if they do. And then it's time for the tweezers, which are long tweezers, and I use them to pull out the 3 pins individually and carefully just in case they fire off. And then I put them somewhere safe out of the way. The last thing to remove is the mechanism, bearing in mind that there are 3 tiny springs inside, and if I lose those, the cost is a whole new switch unit as well. So this is what I'm dealing with at the minute. I've got 3 tiny brass pins in my hand, and I've also got the housing mechanism. The 3 little brass pins, they all sit in the mechanism, but within the mechanism there are 3 little holes, and within those 3 little holes are tiny little springs that makes these little pins spring loaded. So when they go back in, they've got to be put back in gently. And what I'm going to be doing is to put everything back in properly. I'm not doing it as a reverse process of how I took it apart. I'll be rebuilding everything inside the cap and then fitting the cap to the body of the switch. Or at least that was the plan anyway. Now it's time to start making progress, so I start off by cleaning the mechanism itself with degreaser and a microfiber cloth. So now what I've done, I've cleaned the outer part of the body to make sure there's no dirt in there. I've lifted the metal contact that's there as well, just to make sure that there is a good connection. And I've also pushed out the little metal tab there to make sure that this gets a good connection to the outer part of the switch, the cap that covers over the top of it. Because without that, I believe that is the problem with the green light not popping up on the dash. That is it's like an earth connection. So if that's not working, then obviously the switch won't work, and that's the issue that we're getting now with my bike, with it not starting. So fingers crossed, now that I've pushed it back out again, that will connect properly. The pins will locate where they should be locating, and then that should be good enough for me for now. Next thing to do is to clean the cap, which I do by spraying degreaser on the microfiber cloth, getting my fingers on the inside of that cap and giving it a good rub around, hoping that I clear out any mess inside there that will hinder this connecting to the mechanism. And on looking inside, it does look a lot better in there and the contacts are much cleaner, so I'm happy with that. It's a job done. Let's get it back together. 3 pins now then back into the mechanism. But as I mentioned earlier, I have a change of plans. So there's a saying that goes, no plan survives first contact, and it turns out this can't click into the cap, so it's going to have to go back into the main body. But I think what I'm able to do while it's sort of out and connecting to the cap is, I might be able to do a check to see if when this outer part lines up with the cap, that it works properly. So I'm going to try that now. But no plan survives first contact, and in this case, it was actually my fault. Now, because the bike has been sat for a while and I've just left the key on for this short amount of time that I've been filming, the battery is drained to the point where there's very little light left on the dash. So this is going to be connected. We're going to check to see if the light does pop up on the dash at all, the green neutral light, and then put it all back together and go from there. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to put the battery on charge, then reattack. But I couldn't wait until the morning, so using the little power I had left in the battery, I connected the mechanism to the cap. Then I rotated it by hand just to see if I could get a connection, and to my surprise, it worked. So I can hear something clicking, so that means that is obviously putting a connection into the switch. And that gave me the urge to carry on, so I got the Stanley booster pack out and connected it all up. I put the mechanism back in the housing, then pulled it forward to expose the side contact, which would allow me to align the cap up correctly. I gently pushed the pins into place because they were trying to escape, and then I tried aligning a freshly greased cap up as best as I could and clicked it into place, hoping that was it. But it wasn't to be, because 20 minutes later, I was still in the same boat and starting to lose my cool. Oh my god, this is such a f***ing awkward thing to do. So I removed the cap again, then refitted it, trying to line up the connectors as best I could to try and get the connection. Once it held on, I gave it a push with the screwdriver, but it didn't look like it lined up where I wanted it to. So I give the wire another push with the screwdriver, and this time it only moved a small amount and felt like it located. I heard it click. Oh, thank goodness for that. We got green light on, we got neutral. The next step now, this doesn't end there. Got to go through all the gears to make sure all the gears actually align. But that's the main hard part done. It shows that the work that's been done is obviously making the connection where it should be connecting. So on to the next step. And it was all just in the nick of time, because that beeping is the battery charger saying it's dead. So that's a good start. First thing in the morning, it's got an N in the display and the green light comes on for neutral as well. So it's obviously in neutral, which is good. That's a big win so far. So I'm going to try and start the bike now. Then we let it warm up, see if it cuts out like it was doing before. And then from there, I'm going to go through the gears just to make sure everything lines up the way it should. Look how quick that fires up. That is absolutely amazing. Granted, that's only when the battery is charged. But the goal now is to see if the bike turns itself off the way it was doing before because of the issue with the switch. And if it doesn't, I'm going to get some heat into the engine and then start cycling the gears. So the bike has got a couple of bars of temperature in it. So what I'm going to do now is start cycling the gears as the bike hasn't stalled itself. There's been no flickering on the dash or anything. So I'm going to go through the gears all the way from neutral to the top gear and then back down just to check. Then I'll leave it run a bit more just to see what's going on. Then I'll do a final run through and then that should be it. That should be the bike good to go on the road. And there we have it. Went all the way from neutral, all the way up to the top gear, then all the way back down into neutral. Granted, it's a bit clunky because it's on the center stand, which isn't ideal. I don't want to go spinning the wheel too much, but I did have to let the clutch out just to engage those gears. So that's cool. I'm pleased with that now, so I'm going to let it warm up a bit more, then do one more cycle all the way from neutral up to the top gear and back down, and then fingers crossed that will be it. So I let it tick over for longer, got it up to 5 bars, and off I went. And that's it, lovely. It's gone all the way through nice and easily, nice and smooth. I'm really pleased how that's come out. So I'm going to do a bit of a test now with the side stand down. I'm going to put it into first gear and that should stall the bike. And there we go. I'm quite confident now that everything is working as it should be. So what I'm going to do is actually start riding the bike again because it's been such a long time, and that's for personal reasons. So back on the bike this year, spring is here now, which is good, but what I'll take away from this is I've managed to clean the switch. It may not have worked out the way I'd wanted it to, do you know what I mean? So what I would have to have looked at then is a brand new switch. And I know now, going forward, that if this starts to have issues again, I'm just going to buy a brand new switch and then I'm going to put it on there and I'll make a video about that. But for now, it seems to be working. I'm quite pleased with how it's working and going through the gears and everything else. There's a couple of things, a couple of other quirks that I need to look at on this bike, but we'll leave them for another day. So I'm going to bring this video to an end. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you with another one soon.